good evening to everyone in the St Mary's family. Now, adults and children, I hope you're sitting comfortably because this evening we're going to have the first of our Advent stories. Throughout December, some of the adults from St Mary's First School and Nursery are going to share with you a story from this special book. So, without further ado, shall we see who is behind door number 1? Enjoy the story.
Hello, it's me, Mr. Homer, and tonight's story is Donald Duck's Christmas Tree. Let's have a look. It was the night before Christmas, and Donald Duck was getting ready for the big day. The stockings were hung by the chimney, and he had wrapped all the presents for his nephews, Huey, Dewey, and Louie. Donald had just finished icing a hot batch of gingerbread cookies when he remembered something. He still needed to get a real Christmas tree. Here we go. Donald put on his coat, cap and mittens, then picked up his shiny axe. He wanted to cut down the best Christmas tree for his nephews. "Come along, Pluto," he called. "We're going to the woods to find our Christmas tree." Together they set off into the snowy forest. Meanwhile, deep in the forest, 2 chipmunks called Chip and Dale lived in a sturdy fir tree. They were also getting ready for Christmas. The chipmunks were busy decorating a tiny sapling near their home. Suddenly, they heard a noise. Chip and Dale raced back to their tree. Pluto bounded through the forest and began sniffing around their tree. I wonder what's going to happen now. When Donald had caught up with Pluto, he circled the tree and said, "This is just the tree for us." He got out his axe and began chopping. Chop, chop, chop! Poor Chip and Dale was scared and stayed hidden in the treetop. Once the tree had come down, Donald and Pluto headed home, with Donald dragging the fir tree behind him. Up in the branches, the chipmunks sat quietly, enjoying the ride. You see the little chipmunks in the tree? Once they got home, Donald raced to the cupboard to get all of the decorations from their hiding place. Chip and Dale looked on curiously. The 2 chipmunks watched as Donald looped long strings of colourful bulbs over the branches of the tree. They look very happy about sharing their tree, don't they? Then Donald began hanging brightly coloured baubles. Pluto helped him where he could. After a while, Donald and Pluto stood back and admired their work. "Doesn't that look great?" Donald asked, and Pluto wagged his tail in agreement. Donald went to get the presents to put under the tree. As Donald left the room, Pluto admired the Christmas tree. He loved looking at all the ornaments and lights. Meanwhile, up in the tree, Chip and Dale began dancing on the branches and laughing until their little sides shook at their warped reflections in the baubles. Look, their reflections are going a bit funny in the round baubles. Pluto noticed the chipmunks in the tree and growled disapprovingly at them, but Chip and Dale didn't care. They threw baubles at Pluto. Pluto managed to catch them in his teeth and paws. Just then, Donald came back. "Pluto!" he cried. "Bad dog!" He thought Pluto had been snatching ornaments from the tree. Pluto barked at the tree, but the chipmunks had disappeared. Donald said to Pluto, "Now be good while I bring the rest of the presents." But as soon as Donald left the room again, Chip and Dale appeared. They danced and played with the lights. Suddenly, plunk! Chip's head went through a bauble. Dale laughed so hard as Chip danced around with a big round golden head. But Pluto didn't think it was funny. They were going to spoil Donald's Christmas tree. He growled at the chipmunks, but they wouldn't stop messing around. Pluto leaned back, ready to jump. "Pluto!" Donald cried as he looked around the door frame. "What is the matter with you? Do you want to ruin the tree?" Pluto spun round to look at the tree, but the chipmunks were out of sight. Poor Pluto couldn't explain. Donald was about to get really cross when, crash! A bauble smashed on the floor. "What's this?" cried Donald. He peered through the branches and spotted Chip and Dale. Donald realised it was the chipmunks who had been making mischief. "I'm sorry I blamed you, Pluto," he said. Donald was going to put Chip and Dale outside in the snow when he remembered it was Christmas Eve. He decided to let them stay. So Pluto made friends with Chip and Dale, and the chipmunks apologised. When Huey, Dewey and Louie came over, they all agreed that this was by far the happiest Christmas Eve that they could remember. There we go, so that was tonight's story. I hope you enjoyed it. Good night, everybody.
Thank you very much, Mr. Homer, for being behind door number 1 on our Advent Christmas book. What a wonderful story. I hope you enjoyed it, children, and we'll see you tomorrow at 5 o'clock to see who's behind door number 2. Bye.